Welcome to the lecture on compounding frequency considerations. So, what so far we have seen that normally the interest is compounded once in the year. So, that is known as compounding once in a year. Now, many a times in case of loan agreements or many a times when we repay our loan, the compounding is done more than once. So, that is interest is to be paid more frequently. So, what normally is the practice that you have to pay the interest once, normally it is more than once, it may be 4 times, it may be 6 times or it may be even daily basis. For example, interest periods may vary from half of the year. So, suppose the interest rate, if it is calculated every 6 months, this is known as, that is compounding of interest twice in a year. So, and if you do 4 times, so that is known as compounding done 4 times during the year. So, basically after every quarter the interest is charged, even it can be on daily basis and sometimes even on continuously. So, in this lecture we will try to see how this affects basically the interest rate if you calculate on a particular period. So, if the interest compounding is done suppose 2 times during the year, basically during the year if you take as a whole, the interest rate otherwise it will be more. So, what is seen is in such cases compounding is expressed as annual basis with some different conventions. So, basically the way we call them, it is somewhat differently how we call it them. So, basically the actual or effective interest rate of 8% compounded each 6 month period. So, this is also expressed as annual or nominal interest rate of 16% compounded semi annually. So, if we talk about an interest rate of 16% compounded semi annually, means the annual interest rate is 16%, that is known as nominal interest rate, but this semi annually means the interest rate is calculated every 6 months. So, basically effective interest rate will be, since it is done 2 times, effective interest rate it will be, since it is done 2 times, we will divide by 2. So, 8% per 6 month period. So, this is known as effective interest rate. So, likewise suppose effective interest rate of 4% compounded each quarter of the year, you can also term it as a nominal interest rate of 16% compounded quarterly. So, these are the different ways by which you express the effective interest rate and the nominal interest rate. Nominal interest rate is expressed on annual basis and is obtained by multiplying the effective interest rate per interest period by compounding frequency per year. So, this is the definition of nominal interest rate, and this is how you basically express effective interest rate in terms of nominal interest rate. Let us see the relationship between nominal and effective interest rate. So, this is the formula for finding the effective interest rate I in a particular time interval. R is the nominal interest rate per year. So, nominal interest rate basically is expressed on annual basis. So, that is why nominal interest rate is per year. L is length of time interval in years, and n is the reciprocal of the length of compounding period in years. So, this relationship is used to calculate the value of effective interest rate for a particular time period or time interval. Now, when the interest is compounded once in the time interval, in that case L into M becomes 1. So, in that case what you see is, when interest is compounded once in the year, once in time interval, what we see that as I is expressed as 1 plus R by M raised to the power L into M minus 1. So, once interest is compounded once in the time interval, in that case Lm is 1. So, effective interest rate will become 1 plus R by M minus 1. So, that is R by M. So, in that case effective interest rate will be calculated by dividing the nominal interest rate with M. So, number of times you compound basically. Now, further we will look at different examples and we will see how this effective interest rate is calculated when there is nominal interest rate. So, let us see a nominal interest rate of 9% compounded monthly. The effective interest rate per month, that is time interval is 1 month. So, let us calculate this. So, if you take the first case, what we have seen so far is the effective interest rate is 1 plus R by M raised to the power L M minus 1. L into M is also the number of compoundings during the time interval. It is also expressed sometimes in another term like C. So, you can have the expression like 1 plus R by M raised to the power C minus 1, where C is nothing but L into M and C is normally greater than or equal to 1. So, this is the general relationship between the effective interest rate and the nominal interest rate. Now, let us see the first example. You have to calculate the effective interest rate per month. It means, as we see in the earlier case, your L is length of time interval in years, and M is reciprocal of the length of compounding period in years. Now, in this case, as we see the first example, in this case your time interval is given as 1 month. Time interval is given as 1 month, for which you have to find the effective interest rate. So, if you express it in years, it will be nothing but 1 by 12. Then the effective interest rate length of the length of interval is 1 month. Then M is reciprocal of the length of compounding period. Length of compounding period is nothing but 1 by 12. So, it will be reciprocal of 1 by 12, 1 by 12. So, it comes as 12. In that case, effective interest rate I will be 1 plus R. R is your 9%. So, it is 0.09 divided by M So, this m is reciprocal of the length of compounding period, that is 1 by 12, that is 12, to raise to the power L, that is 1 by 12 into m is 12 minus 1. This comes out to be 1 plus 0.0075 minus 1, that is 0.0075, which can be said to be as 0.75%. So, this way you calculate the effective interest rate in the time interval of 1 month. This is also an example of that case where basically the compounding is done once in the time interval. That is why you can have the value as r by m directly. So, it will be 0.09 by 12 directly you can get, you can also get it directly by r by m, because compounding is done only once in the time interval. So, I will be r by m, so it will be 0.09 by 12, so it will be 0.75%. So, this is also an alternate way to calculate the effective interest rate in this case. Let us go to another example. Next example is nominal rate of 12% compounded monthly with time interval of 1 year. So, in this case your time interval is 1 year, so L is 1. Nominal rate of 12% compounded monthly with time interval of 1 year. Now, the m value is nothing but reciprocal of the length of compounding period in years. Compounding period is monthly, it means 1 by 12 years and reciprocal of that. So, 1 by 12, that is 12. So, what will happen? The value is again calculated as 1 plus r is 12% by 12%, so 0.12 by 12, then raised to the power L into m, 1 into 12 and minus 1. So, it will be 1.01 raised to the power 12 minus 1, and this if you calculate, it comes out to be 0.1268. So, it will be equal to 12.68%. So, basically what you see is the nominal rate is 12% compounded monthly, and if you take the time interval of 1 year, what you see is effective interest rate is more, because the compounding is basically 12 by 12, that is 1%. Effective interest rate is 1% per month. So, this 1% per month, when it is compounded again and again after 12 compounding times, the effective interest rate over the year becomes 12.68%. The third case is nominal rate of 18% compounded weekly with a time interval of 1 year. Now, by this time I hope it is clear to you. In this case, L time interval, that is known as 1 year. So, it is 1 in year terms. R is 18 and compounding is weekly. So, basically in year terms m will be reciprocal of the compounding period in years. So, in year terms m will be basically reciprocal of 1 by 52 years. A week can be expressed as 1 by 52 of years. So, in this case m will be 52. Now, if you calculate, again use this formula, effective interest rate with a time interval of 1 year, it becomes 1 plus r, that is 0.18 divided by m, 52. This will be raised to the power of L into m. So, L is 1 and m is 52. So, this raised to the power 52 minus 1, and this can be found out to be 0.1968. So, this will be equal to 19.68%. So, this is how you calculate the value of effective interest rate when the compounding is done at different frequencies. Let us see another example. Nominal rate of 14% compounded monthly with a time interval of 6 months. Now, here what you see, your R is 14%, that is 0.14, compounded monthly. So, compounding period is 1 by 12 of the years. So, m will be 12, m will be ratio of 1 by 12, reciprocal of 1 by 12, that is 12. Your time interval is 6 months. So, if you look at the L becomes, if you express this 6 months in years, it will be 1 by 2. So, L into m, that is also expressed as C, it is 6. So, effective interest rate can be calculated as 1 plus 0.14 divided by m, that is 12, raised to the power 6 minus 1, and this will be calculated as 0.0721, that is 7.21%. This is an example which shows the time interval is only 6 months. So, basically otherwise it can also be expressed as effective interest rate of, so basically you are effectively using 7% interest rate every 6 months, had it been semi annually, but here compounding is done monthly. So, in that case in the 6 month period the effective interest rate becomes more than 7. So, it becomes 7.21. Next example, like nominal rate of 10% compounded weekly with a time interval of 6 months. So, this can be further found by again looking at R is 10% or 0.10, compounded weekly. So, m will be reciprocal of 1 by 52 years. So, it will be 52. Length of the time period interval is 6 months. So, again L is 1 by 2 years. So, L into m becomes here 26, that is also C. So, in this case effective interest rate can be calculated as 1 plus 0.10 divided by m, that is 52 raised to the power 26 minus 1. and this way you can calculate the different values. In fact, it comes here as 5.12%. So, then you can see another example, nominal rate of 13% compounded monthly with a time interval of 2 years. Now, in this case what you see is your R is 13%, so R is 0.13, compounding is done monthly, so M is reciprocal of 1 by 12 years. So, M will be reciprocal of 1 by 12, so it is 12. Time interval is 2 years, so it will be L will be 2. So, in that case your C, that is L into M, it becomes as 2 into 12, 24. So, effective interest rate you can call as 1 plus 0.13 divided by 12 raised to the power 24 minus 1, and that comes out to be 29.51%. So, in this case you can have different type of problems and you can solve on your own. Now, we discuss about the case of continuous compounding. So far we have seen that the compounding is done for a finite number of times, but continuous can be done in finite number of times, large number of times. So, that is known as a continuous compounding case. Now, compounding is done in finite number of times during the year. So, in case of continuous compounding, since it is done in finite number of times during the interval, during the year, your reciprocal of the time during which the compounding occurs, because this time becomes very small, and once the time interval becomes very small, limiting to 0, then M will be tending towards infinity, because it is reciprocal of that time interval. So, number of interest periods per year is approaching infinity, and length of compounding periods is approaching 0. In that case, how to calculate? So, basically we know that I is 1 plus R by M raised to the power L M minus 1. Now, in this case, in case of continuous compounding, M is tending towards infinity. So, what you can see is I will be limit M tends to infinity 1 plus R by M L M minus 1. This can be written as limit M tends to infinity 1 plus R by M to the power M by R into L into R minus 1. So, you can write this expression as 1 plus R by M, 1 plus R by M, M by R into R L minus 1. Now, basically if we recall our calculus principles, limit of m tends to infinity, 1 plus r by m raised to the power m by r becomes, its value is nothing but exponential value e, that is something close to 2.7182. So, effective interest rate for any time period will be e to the power r l minus 1. So, in case of continuous compounding, this effective interest rate is calculated as I is equal to e raised to the power r l exponential r into l minus 1. If we calculate effective annual interest rate, for calculating effective annual interest rate, basically we are limiting L equal to 1. So, basically the time interval which we are specifying as 1. So, in that case effective annual interest rate I A is shown as this L becomes 1. So, exponential r minus 1. So, this is how in case of continuous compounding we calculate the value of effective interest rate over any time interval or annual value. Now, we have seen that as the interest rates and its compounding changes, the effective interest rate values are changing, and we can see that how these effective interest rate changes as the compounding frequency is changed, that we can see in our next lecture. Thanks.